Very grateful to have known them since, and I'm really excited for you all to meet her. So please give an absolute encore to Rhian!
Priority votes.
Hi, I'm Rhian Brooke, and I am a poet. I have to say it like that because deep down I still don't quite know it. Riddled with doubt and insecure fear, I smile and through gritted teeth I announce, it's so lovely to be here. As my saturated palms try to comfort each other, I'm performing these lines whilst wanting my mother. You're all looking at me and then at each other, and I'm thinking I can stop this poem, I do have another, but really I just want to run and take cover. But I love it, I really do. And the Valium's kicked in. But I now need the loo. Is it a number 1 or 2? Number 2 poem, I'll forget that too. Just concentrate on remembering this one first. Oh God, my bladder is fit to burst. Why can't I just do it the way I rehearsed them? And in my pyjamas I can recite it reverse. But this is truly the worst. And I drank a pint of vodka just to quench my thirst. And you'll all be demanding to be reimbursed. Really? I'm imagining you all naked. It's working, except you. It's amazing what pubic hair scrunchies can do, but I get it, you're feeling empowered. I'm exactly the same. I mean, since working from home, I've barely showered. And in the shower is where I write my best lines. I'm on fire like a white grey-haired Buster Rhymes, and I'm buzzing whilst debuzzing, giving an award-winning performance to my starry-eyed rubber duck. Can I remember any of it once I've towel dried? Can I fuck? And really, I should have taken up pottery. There was an admin error, you see. It's like poetry, but with extra tea, and you end up with something you can drink it out of for a century. But that's no good for me, because my favourite blend is anxiety. And I may not be as young as I used to be, but my gymnastics are fantastic as long as they're bending my tongue lyrically. And instead of clay on a wheel, I'm spinning my vocabulary. Besides, I've got way too much crockery. So I'm at peace with the fact that my words are my only legacy. And you may not tend to agree, generally people don't think like me. For fuck's sake, my favourite Bond is George Lazenby. That never happened to the other fella. Oh my God, can someone please get me a pint of Stella or shoo me off stage with a massive umbrella? The point is, I've only been doing this for a short while. I have no USP or distinct style. All I know is I'm a logophile. So although my poetic technique is eclectic, I may seem unhinged and a little bit hectic. I know when I write, my poems are slip. I just wish performing them didn't make me feel sick. And I'm usually a pretty confident chick, but up here my nervous cough is affecting my tick, and the shock of being on stage is anaphylactic. They say, doing things that scare you should do the trick, so here I am, giving my arse a good kick. And you know what? I'm nearing the end and I didn't blow it, so maybe after all I really do know it. I'm Rhian Brooke, and I am about to shit myself. So hello, rhymes and stitches. How are we? Fabulous bitches. So I'm Rhian. I am equal parts excited and terrified to be headlining a comedy poetry night, because I don't class, like a few people on the open mic have said, I don't class myself as a comedic poet, really. So yeah, people do generally laugh at me when I perform, but I honestly just thought they were mocking me. So thank you for inviting me to come and do this, because it's made me sort of like realise that actually maybe I'm a little bit of bother, which is fine. So this next one, yeah, like I say, I don't really intend to write funny poetry. This next one started out, it is a serious piece, because it's about, but I guess it's funny because it's about the biggest joke of all, which is the patriarchy.
Too good.
This is Woman. Woman, you are immaculate, just silver-plated in fraud. A man-made crust caked on umbilical cord, golloping artificial mantras until saturated in loathing we swell. Daughters pleading for us to quell Laws written about our bodies by gaggles of men who confuse walking in our shoes with sliding in our DMs. Objectifying our fractured frames and scoring us out of 10. Let's break the bias for if not now, when? Because let's get one thing straight. There'd be a 3-week working month if men were to menstruate, and sanitary products would all be free. Wouldn't that be great? How has it taken until 2021 for them not to be taxed? If men had ovaries, they'd be delivered in hampers with appropriate snacks. And at least have the decency to get her anatomy right. You see, her vagina is mainly out of sight. So to impress and really indulge her, make sure you know that that part you're admiring is actually her vulva. At least have the decency to get her anatomy right. You see, her vagina is mainly out of sight. So to impress and really indulge her, make sure you know that that part you're admiring is actually her vulva. Well, that might seem slightly pernickety and daft until she's wanking off your testicles whilst gently cupping your shaft. And yes, she has a hole she is gagging for you to fill and to pack. A gaping chasm called the gender pay gap. Is it really too much to ask to be paid the same wage for doing the same task? We are all gorging on what's always been, instead of tantalising our taste buds with the unseen. Start questioning society and patriarchal creations, the uneven playing fields and the wars between nations, those nuclear chodes, penises cocked and ready. Poked goes, the slightest of knocks and the world is unsteady. But woman, don't worry your pretty little head with the descent of man. Yes, we know you have a far more intelligent plan. But for now, just smile, make eye contact, dress nice, be chatty and agree with his view. But not so much he might want to fuck you. Because what was the poor guy supposed to do? Unfortunately, his actions are all down to you. The onus on male violence needs to be shifted back to men. So for all those who've been victim blamed, I'll say it again. Woman, you are immaculate. Just silver-plated in fraud. And of this game we're all playing, you're right to be bored. For we're not to be toyed with, and I hope the next gen will be done with playing Barbie in a world made for Ken. So let's break the bias, for if not now, when? I don't really know where it came from, and I guess it's a little fantasy. Right, first of all, has anybody ever been at like a family dinner or out with friends where you just can't relate to anything that's vacuous bollocks, and you want to like delve into people's souls, and they're just like, yeah. It'd be funny if I just remember it's not like that, but it is about that. And it's kind of a little, I don't know, I guess a little fantasy. I've never done this, but what I drift off from these kind of things, and I started imagining doing this next thing. I have never done it, but maybe I will in the future. But this is called Plunge. Sat around the dinner table unlaid, a playground for our plates. Carrots glisten in gravy, crayons strewn like a kaleidoscope of fallen logs. Timber! The pepper grinder called. Scribbled scraps of paper placemats act as halos to the condiments. A modern-day nativity scene. Jesus is a cocktail sausage wrapped in bacon blankets. So innocent. I push him to the side. I can't eat him now. He'll go to the dog later. Our saviour, swallowed whole. Small talk. Asking things of each other we already know. I crave to ask what excites them, what they desire, but pleasure is inappropriate. Anything good is inappropriate. Am I the only one? My eyes flicker from face to face, scraping away the facades, peering into psyches, desperate to find a tiny mischievous imp under one of their skins, peddling mayhem and inviting me to dip under the flap of a cheek like a tent door. Come play. Something to resonate with. A flash of muddied mirror, a secret atom-sized glitter ball in the bloodstream of an aunt. Can't. All I find is grey. Blank, blink, blanket bombed, boring, yawning, yearning, learning, nothing. I place my knife on my plate like a drawbridge for the peas. Run, my beauty, save yourselves! My left hand grips my fork, pointed index, mind your manners, elbows off, nodding, nodding, nodding. I don't agree, nor understand. Suddenly, without warning, my right index and middle fingers plunge into a pot of putty Play-Doh slime. The squelch silences the mundane chatter, moist, slip, and slide. I penetrate the goo with such ferocity that it queefs again and again and again, each plunge plunging the table into deeper, aghast hush. Deeper, deeper, deep is uncomfortable when all you know is shallow. I close my eyes and gently swell, bite my lip, chest heaves and eyes slowly open. Eyes contact each person in a gliding swoop. Thank you. I told you it was weird. Okay, so it's really unintentional, but most of my pieces have some sort of reference to pussy. And you probably noticed it.
Say it again.
Pussy! Yeah, and it is unintentional. I don't know. Freud would probably have a field day with me. I don't know. Sometimes it's really blatant. Sometimes it's a bit more subtle. This next one is a very subtle one. The more astute of you will pick up on a couple of references. Some of you, it probably will just go completely over your head, and that's fine. Like, it takes all sorts for society to thrive. But yeah, just try and do your best. But it's quite a highbrow piece, and it's called Unburdened Lips. My pussy is purring, stop fannying around. Take a trip inside my pleasure man. Vagina and vulva heaving and sighing, my hooded lady wet from crying. Feel around my silken purse, my cum bucket will quench your thirst. My lady garden needs some tending, my labia love slit wants extending. Come take a dip in my puddle plunge. My soggy box, my gash, my plunge. My furry chasm needs some filling, my bearded clam trench takes some drilling. Chomp on my badly packed kebab, dominate my Putin bag. My tiny hole, my wizard sleeve, my axe wound tuppence pubic cleave, my moose's knuckle clown's pocket, punani honey pot cock socket. Let me catch you in my penis flytrap, my horny halo meaty fun flap. I want you up Jizz Creek without a paddle, ride my growler without a saddle. Damn, I want you in my beaver, hold back the gush of my dick receiver. My hinge cunt, flange gun, nunny minky, the notorious B.A.G. My beef curtains need some drawing, my quimmer quiver, my cunny roaring. Press down hard and dance the tango, deflower my twat, my muff fandango. Or if you are not so crude, more coy, a gentleman or naive boy, grab a hold of my protruding hips and gently part my unburdened lips. Thank I don't usually do this. I usually memorise them. I feel really poorly. Oh, it's not an excuse. Shut up, Rhian. I do know it, but it's just a little safety blanket. But, okay, so this is a new piece, and it's about ageing, and probably the people that caught all the references to pussy in that last one might have noticed that I've got grey hair. Because you are very observant. So I've written quite a lot about ageing, and most of the stuff I write is quite serious, and it's about, society's ridiculous beauty standards and how we only see beauty in youth, and all of that sort of stuff. So go and check out my other stuff for more serious stuff like this. But I wanted to write something about, that's not really an empowerment piece, it's just more about ageing being a bit of an arsehole, and just a bit more light-hearted about how it sort of creeps up on you. 1 minute you're young and cool, and the next you're sort of doing this.
Way to promote the event.
Okay, here we go. Aging is weird. We are all each age for just 1 year. Just as comfort sets in, we scramble up a tier. I now take nothing for granted. I appreciate the world and celebrate each breath. Mainly because the unstoppable marching of time is guiding us all towards an inevitable death. But I didn't in my youth, my wild child days, ungratefully floating through a purple haze, waking up on strangers' floors, confused and dazed, the one-night stands and regrettable lays, Richard O'Brien on the crystal maze. I didn't shag him. Awkwardly navigating in rebellious ways, blinkered by blue mascara, blinded by the tie-dye craze, choking on whisper-filled air of, it's just a phase. And it is. But when does it happen? When do we cross that bridge? When do we start discussing air fryers and the make and model of our fridge? Is it when we swap cider for red wine? Do we wake up one day and say, I think it's time? I'm now going to experience mornings at the start of the day instead of at the very end of the night. Is it when we'd rather bite our tongue in half instead of getting into a fight, or when no matter what size we buy, our jeans are always too tight? True, right? I now roll my eyes and tut if there's a crowd. Shop music, way too loud. Stop dancing with my tits out on speakers and in cages. Haven't been sick in a sink for ages. Is it when your mates all get ISIS and start saving? Or when you... I know. Is it when your mates all get ISIS and start saving? Or when you discover the joy of day raving? Oh yeah, you'll never stop me going clubbing. But I have grown out of some things like dry rubbing. Or at least I now know there's a time and a place. These days, if I'm dealing with Mandy, it's most likely on Facebook Marketplace. That's not true either.
Say it again!
These days, if I'm dealing with Mandy, it's most likely on Facebook Marketplace. My aches and pains are now real, no need for malingering. I've recently discovered parks aren't just for fingering. I now walk for fun. I look in the mirror and see my mum. I treat my houseplants like babies and care about trees. I have no fucking idea what's happened to my knees. And I don't know if I'm a millennial or a Gen Xer, because I was born on the cusp, so I'm teetering between delusional narcissist and incompetent tech. Stopped wearing cardigans and shirts because it's no longer ironic, and although I can't speak for the men, I've got a new name for women of my age, the lacking in collagen. Oh yeah, that supplemented powder elixir goes on everything I consume. I'm tipping the jar straight into my mouth and then I'm licking the spoon. When I'm at work, I'll do a bump at my desk, down it hung over on the tube. I snort it in club toilets, then whip it into a paste balloon. It helps, but it doesn't completely eradicate all these strange new ripples, or that I am now at significant risk of tripping over my nipples. My jowls sag and calluses harden. I now have a garden. But things don't change all that much. Out there, I'm still often found on my knees. I'm still putting my back out in random beds and obsessed with grass and weed. I used to burn the candle at both ends to get my kicks, and I still spend a large amount of time in the middle of wicks. I've just got to a point now where I truly appreciate a breeze. Sometimes I lose my train of thought and completely forget what I'm... Did I mention my knees? But don't listen to me. Most of what I got told by older people was just to unnecessarily scare and alarm. Take that old adage about not pulling out grey hairs. Never did me any harm. And I still don't know what I'm doing. In that sense, age is not a restriction. I just now chat shit with more authority. I'm still confused, just with more conviction. I'm now just less likely to stretch a condom over my head and blow it up like a helmet balloon. I know, you're probably thinking I've become prudish and mature too soon. And I suppose I have a bit. I guess the day I noticed it was when I first found Alan Titchmarsh fit. No matter how old or conservative I get in this life story, I will never start reading the Daily Mail, wear Crocs, or vote fucking Tory.